So on paper, your life looks pretty much perfect, right? You've checked all the boxes, you've gotten the promotions, you've built a life that, a lot of people would probably kill for. But inside, there's this quiet, nagging feeling that something's not right. It's like a hollow space where the satisfaction is supposed to be. In this explainer, we're going to dig into why high achievement can sometimes feel so incredibly empty and what it actually means to start building a life from the inside out. And this question, man, it really just cuts right to the heart of it, doesn't it? You look around at everything you've accomplished and you just feel detached, like someone else did all this work. People give you praise and it just bounces off. This isn't just being tired or burned out, it's something way deeper. It's this profound sense of disorientation, the feeling that the person who's supposed to be enjoying all this success has just vanished. And here it is. This is the fundamental reason why. All that energy, all that focus, all that incredible drive, it's been channeled into a performance. Every success is just another scene in the play. Every achievement is a line delivered perfectly. But the thing is, because it's a performance, the applause never reaches you. It just lands on the mask you're wearing. And behind that mask, the real you feels totally unseen, creating that hollow echo where a solid sense of self should be. So how in the world does this happen? I mean, how do we end up wearing a mask that's so convincing that even we start to forget who's really underneath it? All right, let's get into the diagnoses. And we're going to start with a really powerful concept from psychology. Okay, so the brilliant psychologist Carl Jung actually gave this mask a name. He called it the persona. Now let's be clear, we all have a persona. It's the professional you at work, it's the polite you at a dinner party. It's a totally necessary tool for getting by in the social world. But for a lot of high achievers, there's a critical glitch in how that persona develops. And this right here, this is the crucial distinction. See, a healthy persona is supposed to be an extension of a solid core self. It's something you put on and take off. But what if, as a kid, your authentic self, with all its messy, inconvenient emotions, wasn't seen or validated? Well, then the mask doesn't just become a tool, it becomes a replacement for your inner identity. It becomes the only structure you have. And this whole process often kicks off way back in childhood. Maybe your parents were loving people, but they were just emotionally distant. Maybe they couldn't handle your big feelings. You learned really early on that your sadness or your anger made them anxious, so you learned to just tuck those parts away. You learned that having needs was a problem. So you came up with a new strategy to get the connection you were starving for. You became impressive, competent, easy. Your performance became your ticket to finally being seen. And you know what? That strategy works, for a while anyway. It gets you places, it gets you praise, but it comes with this enormous hidden cost. So let's take a look at the long-term complications of living this way. Wow, okay, this chart just puts it all in black and white, doesn't it? Look at the masked self. Its value is completely externally sourced. It's always looking for the next promotion, the next compliment, the next like. It literally needs an audience to feel real, and that is incredibly draining. It makes you fragile and anxious. Now look at the authentic self. It's internally validated. It has a stable interior. It can replenish its own energy, and that makes it resilient and whole. And this is the result of living on that mask side of the chart. It's a soul-level fatigue. It's not the kind of tired that a good night's sleep can fix. It's the exhaustion of constantly scanning every room you're in, of calibrating your behavior for everyone else, of upholding this performance 24/7. It's this deep existential depletion that comes from pouring all your energy into the mask, leaving nothing left to nourish the actual person underneath. This also leads to something that the theorist Bowen called emotional fusion. It's basically when your boundaries just completely blur. You start to feel responsible for everyone else's emotional weather. You compulsively try to manage their anxiety and fix their problems, because their instability feels like a direct threat to your own very fragile system. It's exhausting. Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem and we've looked at its really painful consequences. But here's the good news. There is a way out. I'm not gonna lie, it isn't easy, but it is absolutely possible. And it all begins with the prescription, reclaiming your agency. It's funny, the philosopher Immanuel Kant had this really powerful way of looking at this whole thing. He defined immaturity not as some kind of personal failing, but as this exact state. The refusal to use your own understanding without guidance from someone else, relying on external authorities, your parents, your boss, society, to tell you who you are, instead of trusting yourself. So agency, then, is this journey from what he called heteronomy, which is just a fancy word for being governed by outside forces, to autonomy, which means self-legislation. It's the big shift from living your life based on getting external approval to becoming the author of your own laws, guided by your own internal values. And look, this next part, this can be the absolute hardest part of the entire process. While you may not have had a choice about the survival strategies you had to build as a kid, as an adult, you do have a choice now. And rejecting that old story that you're powerless, that you have no choice, that is the first, most terrifying, and ultimately most liberating step toward building a real life. So what does that first step even look like in practice? In this final part of our explainer, let's get really practical and explore how this journey to wholeness actually begins. So the ultimate goal here isn't to become perfect. It's what Jung called individuation, and I just love this definition, the honest assembly of everything you are. That means you're not just embracing the competent, shiny parts. It means you're also embracing the angry parts, the needy parts, the vulnerable parts, all the pieces you were taught to hide away. It's about integration, not elimination. And here's how you can start. Step 1. Just witness. The next time that hollow feeling creeps in during a quiet moment, don't immediately reach for your phone or make another to-do list. Just sit with it. Let it be there. Step 2. Validate. Give a name to those emotions you've pushed away for so long. Acknowledge the anger you were never allowed to show or the deep need for rest you've always ignored. And finally, step 3. Meet yourself with steadiness. Try to be the calm, consistent presence for yourself that maybe you never had. And please remember this. The point of all this work is not to arrive at some undamaged, perfect version of yourself. That's just another impossible performance, right? Real, lasting wholeness comes from having the courage to integrate all of your parts, the broken, the beautiful, and everything in between, into a self that is finally authentically yours. So I'm going to leave you with this. Taking off the mask always begins with one small, quiet act of honesty with yourself. So what is one truth about your job, about a relationship, or maybe just about a feeling inside you that you've been actively pretending isn't real? Just asking yourself that question, that's the first step toward filling that hollow space with something real.